It's hard to imagine that these things could go from bad to worse to worse to bad, even worse, as it were, you know. We're talking, of course, about the disaster tourists that have now tracked, of course, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle ever since the actress Justine Bateman decided to come out and attack them for what they claim to be doing good deeds and helping out in a time of, absolute stress for people that went through the terrible situation and are still picking up the pieces a couple of weeks down the line. This is going to take years for these people to recover. But of course, Meghan has form on this, turning up where possibly she's not wanted, but seemingly thinks that she can do good, etc. And the other problem that you have in a situation like this is you have to be very careful what you say you're going to do. Because what we hear time and time again from Meghan and Harry is, oh, they've donated, all this sort of stuff. But then when you look at the books, it's very hard to see exactly what they've donated, how much and where from. You get the picture. Moving forward though, this has now happened. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out to join me on a peaceful evening shoot here in the very heart of London. Things are not going well, let me tell you, over here in London right now. Oh yes, I'll fill you in very soon, but yes, tricky times ahead for a lot of people. It may be a new year, but as I said to you before, the thing that we live in is a digital world where everything is there, isn't it, for the world to see. And I don't know about you, I notice this even if you're sending Christmas cards and stuff like that, everything you now put online is tracked and you're hounded. Who else is fed up with your local gas and electric people sending you reminders that you've got to read your own meter? You think you're like a 10-year-old. Don't need to be reminded that you want to bleed more money out of me. Yes, if you're that bothered, send somebody and do it yourself. Yes, I'm glad you agree with me. It's a bit like this particular story that looks set to backfire now on, of course, the former royal known as Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. At the very height of the LA fires, if you remember, Meghan and Harry were accused of being disaster tourists and things went from bad to worse. Now, where it gets really interesting is, if you remember, they apparently had opened their home to family and friends. Well, first of all, what family, right? Because apart from the mother, I'm not quite sure what they stipulate as family. Maybe the dogs, who knows, but whatever. And the other interesting bit is the friends. Well, it's a bit debatable who actually decided they were going to take up this rather generous offer, as ever, allegedly. But according to a source out in Montecito, there's been absolutely no movement or any new arrivals coming or going into Harry and Meghan's home. Now, I would dread to think that, of course, this may have been something of a, shall we say, publicity stunt. But it does seem odd, doesn't it? I mean, if you've got people staying with you because they've got a disaster looming, well, first and foremost, I would believe, and this is just my opinion, that Harry and Meghan would milk that for all it was worth, possibly to try and get some positive PR. You know, we were so lucky to be able to stay with our close friends, etc. But nothing, seemingly no record whatsoever. So once again, one might suggest, unless this is proven, it might have been a gesture. Perhaps people didn't take them up on the offer. I'm not saying either way. I'm presenting what I've been told. But what's fascinating about this is they seemingly jump on that particular bandwagon and seemingly there's no backup. As I said at the start of the video, a little bit like these donations. Harry and Meghan have donated and you think, right, okay, and where did that go? Because seemingly even good deeds that they want to allegedly do come out as bad publicity. But either way, I'm sure if friends did stay with Harry and Meghan, they must have been delighted at all that gorgeous food she's been seen cooking for a forthcoming Netflix show. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.